Extreme weather occurs all the time on our planet, often in places where nobody is around to witness it. Every once in a while, though, somebody is in the right place at the right time to capture Earth's most incredible, rare, and terrifying natural disasters. It is our hope that these videos give you a better understanding of the power of our planet. From a sudden tidal bore in Indonesia to an absolutely massive glacier calving and tsunami, here is 20 minutes of extreme weather videos. The first video was shot in Indonesia on the Kampar River. This river dumps into the Indian Ocean, and when the converging tides battle one another, it can create a wave that lingers at the mouth of the river. This is exactly what the locals in this video came here to see. On this day, the tide from the ocean was too much for the river and overtook it, creating what is known as a tidal bore. This is when the ocean's tide becomes too strong for the river and pushes ocean water upriver, sometimes creating a huge wave that is like a mini tsunami. Most of the time, tidal bores are benign, only making for an entertaining spectacle. On occasion, though, the waves that wash upstream can measure over 20 feet or 6 meters tall. Locals actually know of this phenomenon and fear it. It has been known to sink fishing boats and wash over the shores onto farms, destroying crops and killing animals. Luckily for them, this one was only a small tidal bore that created nothing more than an inconvenience for those standing on shore just trying to watch. Their belongings got a little wet and people had to scurry out of the way. In the end, everyone was okay and the tidal bore did little damage. Next time, they may not be so lucky. Monster waves are a popular series on this channel, and this next video exemplifies what we mean perfectly. When we say monster waves, we aren't necessarily talking about waves you surf or tsunamis. Rather, we mean the waves you find deep at sea in some of the roughest waters imaginable. This video was taken from the deck of a rescue vessel in the middle of the North Sea in 2021 during a Force 12 storm. This body of water is a section of the Atlantic Ocean that is shared between Great Britain, Norway, Denmark, and a few other European countries. Thanks to the geographical area of this ocean, it is known for some as the most monstrous waves on Earth. You know what? Why don't you just see for yourselves?
Shit. Du sindssyg, mand.
Luckily, ships like this are built extra tough in order to tolerate such horrendous weather. It isn't uncommon for ships that aren't built to withstand such conditions to be caught up in storms like this. So these rescue vessels have to patrol the waters from time to time, making sure that they are close by in case a distress signal is sent out. To give you an idea for the scale of these waves, the deck of the ship sits around 12 feet or 3.5 meters above the surface of the water. Yet, waves are crashing up and over the side time and time again. As the boat rides over a wave, it drops nearly 20 feet down the back side of it, only to be hit yet again. It's fair to assume many of these waves were 20 to 30 feet in height, or 6 to 9 meters, maybe more. Perhaps the most terrifying thing about this video is the sound the boat makes when it's hit. It sounds as if the whole thing is about to break apart. Fortunately, it was not damaged and returned to port without incident. In terms of natural disasters, how many times has anyone ever heard about something happening in Greenland? It's one of the most off-the-radar countries in the world, with a population of less than 60,000. But it doesn't mean that Greenland isn't without incident. This particular incident happened in the small fishing village of Nuugaatsiaq on June 17, 2017. Nuugaatsiaq is a very small village of 84 people located in Greenland's Karet Fjord. The day was like any other. Unbeknownst to the residents, a couple of miles further up in the fjord, a landslide had occurred. A huge chunk of earth measuring 300 meters by 1,100 meters, or 980 feet by 3,610 feet, fell off of a mountain and into the Karet Fjord, causing a tsunami over 300 feet, or 91 meters high, to barrel towards the village. By the time it finally reached Nuugaatsiaq, most of its size had been lost. However, it was still incredibly powerful. As you can see in the video, the water was unstoppable and traveled hundreds of feet inland. The houses and structures that stood on the shore of the fjord simply had no chance. The huge wave crashed into them and ended up carrying many away. One interesting fact is that even though it was bright outside, this all happened in the late evening hours. Greenland, being so far north, stays very bright throughout the spring and summer months, hardly ever getting dark. Sadly, this tsunami did take the lives of 4 people, whose bodies were never recovered. When driving down a road, seeing bad weather ahead can make things somewhat stressful. There may be some wind, rain, and lightning, but we keep driving. We may have to move a little more slowly and use quite a bit more caution, but usually these things clear up. These travelers in Serbia had quite a different experience. On this day in 2017, traffic was moving like normal. As the drivers looked further down the road, they could see thick clouds indicating a strong storm system. Of course, it would be reason for caution, but not necessarily alarm. As the drivers approached, the wind started whipping, blowing debris and trash over the roadway. It was the first real warning sign of what lay ahead. As you can see in the footage from the dash cam, as soon as the car enters the cloud, they are completely enveloped by the storm. Within seconds, the visibility had dropped to near zero and stayed that way for many minutes. None of the cars could see more than a few feet in front of them, causing traffic to come to a standstill until the storm passed. About 20 minutes after it began, it passed, and the skies were blue yet again. It's crazy how quickly such an intense storm can come and go, as if nothing ever happened. Glaciers are truly incredible products of nature. They're like giant land masses made of ice that move inch by inch towards the ocean. During their journeys, snow collects on top of them and freezes. Then that snow turns into more ice, adding to their mass and density. When we see one in the sea, it is easy to forget that the ice is floating on the water, with much of it hidden beneath the surface. This video was taken in Greenland of the Ilulissat Glacier. Over the years, as the ice has been moving, snow and more ice have collected on the top. making the glacier stand over 3,000 feet or 915 meters tall. When you have ice that is this top-heavy in the water, an incredible sight may occur. The iceberg flips over, bringing the portion of ice that was once hidden below the waves up to the surface. It is a breathtaking sight to see these large mountains of ice and snow suddenly upend themselves, disturbing the water and causing mini tsunamis. If you look closely at the video, you see the water lifted above the ocean as it rolls off the ice, almost looking like a large wave that has suddenly formed. It's a rare and incredible sight that this person was lucky enough to capture on film. Aside from the water displacement and mini tsunami, many more calvings occurred in the minutes that followed the initial event. After everything was said and done, the landscape had changed entirely. The towering peaks of ice were no longer there. When Mother Nature decides to act up, she rarely does so subtly, as it is clear in these videos. If you want to see more videos about extreme weather and natural disasters, be sure to let us know some ideas in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this one and want to see another just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now. With that said, thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.